Hello guys and welcome back to episode number 15 of the Everton Career Mode. Today we have 3 games in store for you. They're going to be a game against Liverpool, Chelsea and Crystal Palace. In the next episode we have an absolute cracker of an episode. We have 2 games against FC Schalke and a game against Chelsea again in the FA Cup final. So it's a very busy couple of episodes and I'm really happy to be back on the daily career mode grind, trying to get as much content produced as I possibly can. And we almost thought I gave away a penalty there in the opening 5 minutes. But it was actually Jordan Henderson getting himself a booking, and I was really enjoying FIFA today actually. You'll see in this gameplay I actually had quite a lot of fun throughout the recording session of this, and I definitely am enjoying 15 more now that I've started playing it more. And I would advise that to any of you guys who aren't enjoying FIFA 15, is just to play it more, try and find the right difficulty for you as well on career mode, because I find that's kind of the reason that I didn't like the game, was because I just wasn't playing on the right difficulty. But once you find kind of that difficulty that you enjoy, the game's so much fun, and that's exactly what it's like for me at the moment. I'm absolutely loving the game. It's so good for me at the moment, and it's actually probably my favourite FIFA yet. But anyway, back into the gameplay. We are actually playing Liverpool, so it's the Merseyside derby, quite a big one. I'd like to pick up 3 points here, but it's going to be difficult. Liverpool have signed Sami Khedira, and Gerrard there almost seals a goal for them with a free kick. He didn't slip, funnily enough, but nonetheless, Alcacer here is on the run, running down the wing, and I do something very dirty there. Don't watch that. That was a very dirty goal, but it is offline against the CPU, and to be honest, this is probably one of the biggest games of our season that we need to be trying to win. It's an embarrassment to lose to your rivals, and that's exactly what we don't want to be doing, so I decided to sweat it, and that's honestly the first time I've passed across goal in FIFA 15, but I'm quite proud of it because it's a big game to do it, and you need to, pick up points when you're playing Liverpool or any of the bigger teams. And I believe they are actually in second, Liverpool, at the moment, so it's very important that we do try and pick up as many points as possible. But then we go and fuck it all up and give away a penalty, excuse my language, and Ricky Lambert, obviously he's going to score that. I think he's missed 1 penalty in his whole career, which funnily enough was his first penalty for Liverpool. But nonetheless, it is 1-1. We still had 20 minutes left to try and get back in it. We bring on some subs there, and a lovely ball from Eto'o. He gets it back again, tries to finesse it, comes off the keeper, and Morales is there to put it into the back of the net to make it 2-1 and get ourselves back on in front even. I was going to say level terms then, but obviously we are ahead. That was a very lucky goal, but I'm going to take it anyway, and we obviously are playing on world class with the sliders that I use to kind of make it between professional and world class. I know I say it every episode, but I'm just worried that someone's going to comment, start abusing me for it. It's even in the description now that I play on these. And Ross Barkley here gets the ball running into towards the goal mouth against Simon Mignolet, does a flare shot, which is an awesome little move, and manages to score an absolute beauty of a goal. Could not be more happy with that. That was absolutely stunning from Ross Barkley, and he really is proving to be a pretty decent player for us. He's always done quite well, but he did have injuries at the start of the season, and he has actually decreased in his physical stats, which is a shame. But he's probably been out for around a combined 4 months. And what the hell was Jordan Henderson doing in that goal mouth there? But look at that. He comes in, kind of steps back, and just passes it with his other foot. It's if you want to do it, it's LT and triple tap B when you're one-on-one with a keeper and it does a flare shot. It's a really awesome thing. I've done it before with Yaya Sonogo, and we did it there with Ross Barkley. But into the 87th minute now, it's looking unlikely that they would get back into the game with 3 minutes left to score 2 to 3 goals to try and clinch a victory. Just was not going to happen. I actually went park the bus there, which I know is a little bit sweaty of me, but I find the CPU can absolutely screw you over if you're not careful. And 3-1 against Liverpool, I'd happily take that. We almost there get a chance to break away again with Ross Barkley. I think that would have been to possibly pick up his hat-trick. I think he scored before, so he scored 2 times this game, which is really good for a central midfielder or a cam. And he almost here, look at that, comes in on goal, and unfortunately Simon Mignolet for once actually pulls off a decent save to keep Liverpool, not to keep Liverpool in it, but to keep us out of it, I should say, rather. But yeah, that was a decent result. I was happy enough getting the win against Liverpool and obviously our fellow rivals in Merseyside. And unfortunately we do have a bigger game coming up next, because we do have Chelsea, which is a little bit of a pain in the arse if I'm honest, but nonetheless we'll go into this game and try and do something. Now I was not expecting to get a victory here, and I think if I come out of this game with a 4-0 win, there would be something wrong with the difficulty. But it was quite a difficult game, although at the start we do start off quite strongly actually, which is always nice. And you can see there, Alcacer almost gets a goal. I think it's Alcacer. I'm going to pronounce it like that because it seems to, sound right. It sounds quite good coming off the tongue, but you can see Chelsea went straight back on the attack after that early opportunity, and I was worried, with the likes of Ramirez, Matic, Costa, Hazard, Fabregas. Their team is absolutely stacked with quality, and you can see Alcacer here cuts inside, finds room, finesses it, and that is 1-0, and I was very happy to get that, although I was expecting Chelsea to bounce straight back and try and get back in this game, because they are the sort of team that will play incredibly once they are 1-0 down. And you can see here Willian with some absolutely unbelievable techers, hits the keeper, and then Matic clears it up to make it 1-1. And look at this from Willian, absolute techers, look at that, showing his Brazilian masterclass there. And Alcacer here a couple of minutes later almost gets a chance to beat Thibaut Courtois, but he's not going to be letting that in, as he is one of the best keepers in the world. And Costa, for some reason, you'd expect him just to put that onto his side and just finesse it around the keeper, but he didn't, and it was very weird for Costa not to do that, because I was exactly expecting him to do that, and I was thinking, oh shit, we're going to go with 2-1 down. But Hazard whips in a ball there, good clearance by Top Rack. Almost thought I was going to give away another penalty there, and Alcacer again is through on goal. He's proven to be a pretty average signing at the moment. He's doing better than Lukaku. He's already scored, which is better than Lukaku pretty much did through the whole 6 months that he was with us. Morales here with a finesse shot, and unfortunately it doesn't find its way into the back of the net. And I've been having a little bit of trouble scoring from range again, but we do have James McCarthy coming back, and he can do well. But they signed Kun Aguero, and I completely forgot because I wasn't looking when he came on, but he managed to score, which was really frustrating because that put us 2-1 down, and I was just getting absolutely pounded by Chelsea. And look at this, Aguero through again, and he's going to score that every day of the week, and that makes it 3-1 to Chelsea, which was really frustrating. And I didn't feel that it was fair that I lost by such a margin. I thought like 2-1 would have been fair. 3-1 was very unlucky, but Aguero showing his class and showing us why we are not as good as Chelsea at this moment. You can see there on the calendar the fixtures we have coming up. It's a very tough month. I'd like to think we could get at least a win against Schalke once out of twice, and maybe a draw, and then hopefully to try and push for like a draw in against Chelsea. But we're obviously not going to be able to because it's a FA Cup game, so we'd have to win it or lose. But you can see Samuel Eto'o here straight away in the game against Palace, which I forgot to mention. I'm trying to play as many games as possible, so that's why you're seeing like games against Crystal Palace instead of just simming them, because I do want to try and include as many of the BPL games as possible, and hopefully by next Friday we can be aiming to finish the first season of this series. Really looking forward to getting into the second season, getting a fresh budget, and we're going to have an absolute turf out of some of the players, because some of the players are awful. And you can see here Eto'o into Besic, sorry, and a very nice clean finesse shot into the corner, and he's been a great replacement for James McCarthy. He's only a 72 overall, but he's done amazing. And Eto'o here, a lovely shot into the bottom right left corner, and that makes it 2-0 with inside the half hour mark. And I could not be more happy with that. Eto'o showing his class, even though he is fairly old player, he still does have it, and I love using him in the team quite a lot. And this is the reason I didn't sell him along with Romelu Lukaku, is because Eto'o is actually an awesome player, and here he almost feeds Morales into a goal scoring opportunity. I wish he did like a dink header like Van Persie did in the World Cup. That would have been awesome. But Morales here through to Samuel Eto'o, doesn't unfortunately have the pace anymore to get all the way up there, and I tried to do a triple tap B, and it didn't actually work. But you can see there we do actually go into the 74th minute, still 2-0 up, and I was a little bit disappointed, and a very nice save there by Tim Howard. A little bit disappointed not to have scored more goals in this game, because I was feeling like Palace weren't doing very well. Actually comes in here, and I try and get cocky and do another flare shot. Should have just buried it, because I had a very easy opportunity to score, but I didn't. And that is the end of that game, and another 3 points for us, which is absolutely great, and also another clean sheet. If you have enjoyed this episode, guys, a like would be greatly appreciated, and if we could hit 5, that would be awesome. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. There is a button down below. It's free, you don't have to pay for it, and it's awesome. And I will speak to you guys in tomorrow's episode of Career Mode.